Yeah. And that shit, and that shit is so classic, man. And I do want to well, before I do move it forward, actually, because I want to talk a bit about the Down by Law album. But one thing I wanted to ask you about, I actually just seen it in an Instagram clip you posted the other night. And I think it might have been, I'm not sure if it's the one where you're talking about Big Daddy Kane and the original 50 Cent, or if it was another one. But either way, when you're talking, you said something that I had never caught in any research or interviews I'd done with you. And if you don't want to talk about it, it's completely fine. I completely understand. But it kind of coincides with talking about growing up in Queensbridge. But they actually booked you at 15 years old for an attempted murder.
Yeah.
Is that anything that you want to talk about at all, or you want to keep that?
Listen, I won't mention names, but I will tell the experience.
Okay.
Because before that, right? Yeah, I wanted to be a criminal and all of that. All of that. I wanted to be that, right?
Yeah.
So, but then it comes to a certain year. I was living with my Aunt Flossie in Tompkins Projects, right? Me and my cousins, we never hung out with anybody. It was so many of us that we just hung together.
Yeah.
And so we was always having fights with these people, those people. One day we had fight with the whole building, 212 Troop.
Oh, wow.
It was fucking just us against the whole 212 Troop, right? One day, my little cousin Raymond, God bless the day, he go to the store and he come upstairs crying. Oh, so-and-so and them then bang. And just so happened, I went in the kitchen and grabbed a sharp object. It's not funny, but this is what changed my life. I was 15 years old. See, unlike what they'll do to these young kids now, you could be 12 years old and they'll hang you in an adult fucking rap.
Yeah.
They'll give you an adult sentence at 12. I was 15 when the crime was committed, right? But my court didn't come till I was 16. So regardless when I was 16, I still couldn't be charged as a fucking adult.
Yeah.
So they had to charge me. But when they took me to Spofford, I stabbed the dude. And let me tell you, if you think that you're a big man out here shooting, it's a whole different animal to stick a piece of metal in a nigga flesh.
You gotta feel
you have to hear it and see it. You dig what it's a whole different animal. I threw up and everything because it was nothing I ever experienced. And then I'm like, damn, instead of leaving the building, I ran upstairs, ran in the house. Like, why the fuck I run in the house? I just would have been a fugitive. They'd have got me anyway. But just so happened, homie didn't die. Okay, which was a plus, but it still was an attempted murder charge. He didn't come to court and convict because, like I said, there was still a bunch of cousins out there, and this was like gonna be Hatfield McCoy's month. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be Hatfield McCoy's. And so he didn't come to court. He lived in all of that, and it wasn't a time when the fucking state will pick up the charge. But I was facing 4 to 7 years. But I went to Spofford. I couldn't stand being locked up. I could stay in my house all day.
Yeah.
Because I have the freedom to leave. But when somebody tell me I can't go nowhere, I couldn't. That was not what I wanted for my life. So that incident changed my whole shit. I went fucking, after they let me out, I got off that motherfucking charge. I definitely went to school for computer technician.
Oh, really?
Learning how to build them. I went to PSI Institute. It was in Manhattan. School no longer exists. But I was learning how to read resistors, diodes, binary code, all this fucking anodes and diodes and cathodes and cosine thetas, palladium-leverium theories and shit like this.
Wow.
I see motherfuckers who know what I'm saying when I said the palladium, they know what the fuck I'm saying. And I just didn't say it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I learned all of that shit. I went to school like, fuck that. And right around that time, I was going to night school, getting my motherfucking GED. all of that. And then all of a sudden the rap music shit popped up.
Wow. Wow. And you know what's crazy? It's see, these are the types of parts of the history I really like to uncover, you know, like, because I find with a lot of success stories, especially, I mean, I'm sure all across the board, but I'm versed in hip hop, right? You know, that's where I've done the degree, you know, the majority of my journalism and my history and my research and my interviews. But I find that there's a lot of these kind of like almost like whim moments where it's like something almost could have like went a different way, right? Like you saying that, and you went to school, like you almost had a career almost in mind for you. And then you did Marley Scratch and it ended up going that way. And without it, hip hop would not be what it is today. Because like we said, I just listed at least 8 things that you pioneered, which became staple things in hip hop music for years to come. And I think it's really interesting. Like another example, when I interviewed Master Ace, he mentioned how before he went to do the symphony, like, you know, when he was just kind of starting to kind of get on with you guys a little bit, like he actually was supposed to go to Atlanta, I think it was, that summer and go to school there. And if that would have been the case and he would have went to school, I can't remember what he was supposed to go for, but very similar story. Like it almost changed the course. And once again, if Ace would have, you know, gone down there and not, you know, would have changed the course of hip hop history again. Like, and I think these little key moments are very interesting. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people look at you guys like god rappers or whatever, but nobody sees like the other things you're good at, you know what I mean, or the other skill set you had, or you know, the other career paths your life could have taken you on.
Look, check this out. Like you said, it could happen to anybody. Look at Tim Allen. He almost was jailed for fucking cocaine trafficking. He had that motherfucking wake up moment, just like I had. Either you gonna go left or you gonna go right. Leave left where the fuck it was left at.
Yeah.
Tim Allen, motherfucking before he became motherfucking Mr. Tool Man, almost went to jail for fucking trafficking cocaine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a uh-oh moment. That don't make him a bad person. That just makes him human. Humans make mistakes. But it's up to you to change what the fuck. Either that mistake gonna keep leading you down that same board. Motherfucker, let me tell you something. If you've been to jail 5 times, change your motherfucking occupation. Because whatever the fuck you doing, you are not good at shit. They keep catching your stupid ass.
Yo, very true, man. Very true. So I do want to you know, move forward as well too. So the Down by Law album, you know, once again, like I said, you know, which this album really represents kind of a lot of those things we talked about, which kind of you are a pioneer, a blueprint of the pioneer of. But one thing about Down by Law that I don't think it gets enough credit for, like it is known as a legendary hip hop album. It's known as a classic, but I don't really think people give it the credit for how innovative of an album it is. Like, song like,
let me tell you why that shit gets lost in the fucking sauce, right?
Yeah.
Because most rappers of my day, you can pin them in a box. Not even pin them in a box, but Rakim, you knew Ra was going to do that. Well, you know what I'm saying? When Kane, you knew when you heard Kane was going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Smooth operator, you know, roll for you just like a warrior, rather like a samurai. Knew them niggas was coming ripping.
Yeah.
Them niggas was coming for your head on every fucking record. For Shan, I'd come at your head on this record. Then on this song, I'm Left Me Lonely, Heartfelt. So there wasn't a category that you could put me in. Now, if you want to go back and listen to Down by Law, like you said, every time you go to the next song, you would hear that I prided myself on every song. I have a new style, a new flow, way different from the last one. The record concept and everything was totally different, the style.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was most important. And since I flipped styles so much, damn, I could fuck with this nigga, that nigga, this nigga, that nigga, this nigga, that nigga. They're up there. They go. They called again. They called again, didn't they?
No, we got. Yeah, but we got.
Yeah, but I could fuck with this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only stupid ass rapper that ever came at me was Chris. Who else fucking ever said anything about Shan? Because they knew that nigga was stupid, he wild, and that nigga could rhyme like a motherfucker, and he don't give a fuck. You ain't heard nobody else. Now look, why Chris got all that? Because motherfuckers will go behind Chris and push him. Go ahead, get his ass. Get his ass. Because we can't fuck with that nigga. Go ahead, get him, Chris.
You know what though? Well, actually, you know what?
I was writing most of the diss records back then. I was like one of the first ghostwriters and shit.
Well, see, that's another thing you pioneered: ghostwriting in hip hop. You're
Steady B's first record. LL, I'm gonna take your radio. Now remember, I had Beat Fighter against LL. So this was like me under the table, motherfucking just sticking a fucking thumb in his ribs and shit. So I wrote Steady B's first song, Take Your Radio. Now, Dana and Lawrence of Pop Art, who has Steady B and fucking Fresh Prince and all that shit, they wanted to sign me because of my difference. And they figured if I was down with them, I'd write all the Steady B shit. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. But we said no. So what the niggas did was went and got Cool C. Now, if you go listen to Cool C's records, you'll be like, is that MC Shan? If I have to listen to Cool C's record and say, did I say that shit? That is how fucking close. I'm always underrated, but I was always duplicated. Like I'm the most duplicated motherfucker in the rap game. Because niggas don't want to say that either. Motherfucker tried to take Chris was the first swagger jacker in history, yo. Go listen to the bridge. And now when we wasn't supposed to be stealing styles and nothing, South Bronx was this direct rip-off for the bridge, down to the style. Many people tell me this style is terrific. It is kind of different. But let's be specific. Nigga, you stole that shit from me. Shut the fuck up.
Blunt in a sack, 3 bundles of crack, we better move. We starting to wild up, fuck these bird motherfuckers, make the flock of them fly. So I got a lot of clout, got a lot of props from how I walk, what I talk about. It's my check, come on. It's 2-step, come on. It don't matter what said it, who you rap, come on. So with my mind's on my money, yeah, my money on my mind. I get mine, I get mine, I get mine, I get mine.